Hi, this is Abhijit from Beyond Vectors. Today we're going to talk about the future of data analysis. If you are a data analyst, should you learn agentic AI? If so, why? And how should you go about learning it? That's the point which we're going to discuss today. Imagine your boss comes and says, Hey, the sales for mobile phones in Bangalore is dropping. Can you investigate why? Now, as an analyst, what would you do? Your traditional approach would be basically to first understand that business problem in greater detail. And then what would you do? You'd go hunting for data. You'd search for data, understand which tables have the right type of data, and then you'd write some SQL queries and source that data, right? After you get that data, you may clean that data, remove some anomalies, normalize it, and then you analyze that data, right? You use techniques like statistical analysis, A/B testing, or any of the techniques, and you analyze it. After that, you visualize the data. You create charts, bar graphs, or pie charts, or trends, or whatever it is. And then finally, you present your results. Typically, this would have taken you at least a day in the best case, and maybe a couple of days in situations where the data is not easily available, or if you have to do a lot of cleaning and so on and so forth. Now, how does this change in today's world where you have AI agents? Well, in today's world, the approach changes where you as an analyst still understands the business problem, and then you give that problem to an AI agent, and the AI agent goes about planning the analysis, writing SQL queries, sourcing the data, executing some Python scripts, and creating charts and validating the findings, right? And then you as an analyst goes about reviewing this result, refining these results or redoing the analysis, and then going about making business decisions. So the approach of how you do data analysis is changing today, right? So AI or agentic AI is not about just coding. It's about automating an end-to-end workflow. So now every data analyst today should learn agentic AI, right? Why? Because the way you do data analysis itself is changing, right? In traditional analytics, you'd say, I can write SQL queries, I can export data appropriately, I can massage the data, build dashboards, create reports, present insights. And in agentic AI world, what would you say? The AI agent investigates the business problems, AI writes SQL queries, AI performs analysis, AI generates the reports. So what do? You as an analyst validates and drives decisions, right? So the job itself is not disappearing. The way the job gets done is changing. Now, you may say, all right, I can do all of this today by exporting my Excel sheet to ChatGPT. So why do I need to learn agentic AI? What is agentic about this, right? So here is where you need to understand what agentic AI is in some detail. So ChatGPT can basically answer questions, it can generate text, and then it waits for your next prompt to take the next decision. Agents, on the other hand, have this word agent, right? Agent stands for agency. Now, agents can understand your goals, make plans, use tools, and execute tasks, right? They can learn from the results of a task, validate their own results, and then iterate till the outcome is delivered, right? So you've given a lot more autonomy to the agent compared to your standard chatbot. That's what makes agents interesting and useful and valuable, right? So coming back to our question, investigating why sales of mobile phones has dropped in Bangalore for last week, the agent may automatically trigger a query on Snowflake, compare the trends from this week and the last week and the previous week, detect the anomalies, and then build charts or probably make some hypotheses and test those hypotheses and then finally generate some recommendations, right? So now an agent is no more just something which gives answer. It's almost like a digital teammate of yours, right? So how should the data analyst think about his new role, right? If in the past you said, I can write SQL query, hire me. I can create dashboards, hire me. I know Power BI, hire me, or whatever it is. Today you should say, look, I can build and supervise AI analysts. I can validate the AI insights. I can ask better business questions and I can design analytics workflows, right? And I can help you make better business decisions. So you're moving closer to the business, and the gap between data and insights and actions is actually shrinking. So now it's a lot less about execution, it's a lot more about judgment. So now what are the roles and how should analysts think about it? Look, you already are halfway there. You have some skills, you have great business understanding. What you need to add to this is how to kind of prompt LLMs, how to create tools or skills, or how to give knowledge to these agents and create RAG based agents, how to provide memory for these agents, how to control these agents using guardrails. These are things which you can learn and then augment it with your existing skills like statistics, dashboard building, stakeholder communication, or business understanding, right? So the future roles will be like enterprise AI analysts or analytics automation lead or AI product analysts or evals engineer, right? Or decision intelligence specialists. So all of these are the new roles of the future, right? And the old roles where you would just build a dashboard by querying are gone. Now, if you want to learn more about how to build real world agents, how to kind of build enterprise grade agents, and how to kind of set the roadmap for building agentic AI in your enterprise, do join us for some free webinars which we run. Go to www.beyondvectors.com/webinars and register for free webinars and you'll get to learn more. If you're a data analyst, if you're a BI professional, product manager, or a data scientist or a software engineer, these webinars, I assure you, will give you a lot of value and learning. Thank you.